Well, well, I see that by the clock it's showtime. So
Showtime.
here we go.
Good
Smoking
morning.
right. What's the length of this one?
The link to this one.
The length.
Oh,
How
I think it's
long
about
is
an hour. I think it's about an hour.
it? Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah,
That's been about the average time, I guess.
yeah. The last few, they've been pretty good size.
Hal the chat, Shadowhawk, he'll be joining us here momentarily. Says hello, happy Sunday. Hope everyone had a nice weekend. Smoking right didn't get enough sleep due to Dillard.
It's all his fault.
Yeah, it's all his fault. You want to bring it up and do a sound check while we wait on Shadowhawk to get here and maybe some others. That was I don't know what time I sent it out, but it was early in the morning. The link to here and set this stream up. There's Mr. Shadowhawk right there.
Whoa.
Just in time for the sound check. That's good. Let's roll that wonderful bean footage from
Rolling.
I know I was watching some stuff last night, so I've got my volume down. So far, sounding pretty good.
Nice. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sounds good on this end.
Rose in a wrath from his wine drinking. He went.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's fine. That'll be fine.
Awesome.
I think wow, just really broke right into this scene, didn't it?
Jumped right in.
Mm-hmm.
No horsing around this time.
And it must be modern times because they're not saying, okay, this is 700 BC or something, like they
Right.
started with Moses or Joshua or.
Yeah, it seems like season 1 they had, the beginning of the episode, like you were saying, it referenced some, past time in history, and it kind of referenced what they were going through now. It rhymed, right? But they haven't been doing that.
It's hard to believe, but next week is the season finale.
Yep. According to Dillard, it's the best one.
Okay, and
until
then
season 4 starts.
We're getting down. I mean, that's a whole week away, and then we got a whole another week. But when's season 4 going to release?
That's a great question. I might look that up.
Yeah, that is a good question.
It's supposed to be soon, but I didn't think that we would get this close. And
hopefully in 2 weeks.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah,
in 2 weeks. They have 2 weeks to get it out, or we'll have to review or do something.
Yeah, we can do a recap or something, I guess.
Yeah, I've been thinking about binge watching and just kind of doing an overview,
Mm-hmm.
And I have more time now to binge watch, but if I can do it with other things, what do we have here? What is this?
Dallas Jenkins, who's one of the writers or the director or something. Season 4 is going to premiere in theaters.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And also, it's going to be January or February, I think, of 2024.
Oh, crap. We don't want to hear that.
Sorry, don't shoot the messenger.
No.
January or February.
Ouch.
That sounds like Devil Flyer, the prequel. Because the campaign will be running through the holiday season out here pretty soon. Where people can back it and support it and share the link out, and we'll steal that a little bit tomorrow. I have some little bit to share on that front. I've got to get busy sending some of these files to people and getting the momentum rolling.
There you go.
definitely need to go to the printer and get some things scanned. Some things going on. But I've been making plans for some individual tiers and things that might be on the campaign. We'll discuss that all tomorrow. Or no, actually later today on 4 o'clock Shadow. Actually later today. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Time flies, guys.
That it does.
Yeah, I'm doing a
Yeah.
shameless shield today.
I'll let you have it.
About what's coming up from Momentum Comics. For just a little bit, and then we'll go into other things, I'm sure. Yep, that's today. Yesterday, it was tomorrow, but today is today. And tomorrow will take care of itself.
Yes, it will.
The question only you can answer, what do you think that is?
Only you can let him into your heart. No one can do it for you.
That's right. Salvation is an individual thing. He chose us. We didn't necessarily choose him. He reaches out to everyone, but not everybody. I don't want to say hears the invitation. They don't respond when they hear it. As many are called, but few are chosen. I mean,
Amen.
God's invitation goes out to everyone, but not everybody responds. That's why we goyim, we Gentiles are here, right?
To answer the call.
Israel didn't
That's right.
rejected God's call for a minute there. Now, in the end times, they say that God will bring their hearts back around. The way I read it, all of them will be saved. So, what is all? A handful, a mere handful in the drop of time,
Yeah.
even if it's a whole nation. What's a nation to God? What's
Nothing.
a nation? What's the mightiest nation today compared to God's people of history and the whole of mankind? God once impressed upon me all the words spoken by man and ever will be spoken by man are nothing compared to one word spoken by God. That's the power of God. But if you are indeed have a relationship with God, you'll know it, and no one will be able to dissuade you from that. And the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Old King James, right? It's really when you look at that word there, it's awe, AWE, the awe of God. But if you awe something, it's overwhelming, and God is truly the only thing that can truly overwhelm us in every sense of the word. We should have awe when it comes to God. Like, wow. That was the one word I uttered when God showed me the glory within myself. And the best way I can, I was doing something very spiritual at the time, Smoking, right? I was doing laundry.
Oh, that's, yeah.
I remember exactly where I was in my apartment. The apartment's still standing. I could take you to it and show you the exact spot when the glory of God came down or welled up within me, not just came down on me like in the old King James. but he showed me and the glory within myself. And the way I used to describe it and still describe it is it's like a golden thread with no beginning, no ending, running straight through me.
Hmm.
Sort of cyclical, eternal. It was like I had been born with a third arm, a third appendage that I didn't know my whole life. And I was just unfolding it and starting to use it and recognize that that's always been in my life since birth, since
Quite the
before
image.
birth, in the womb.
Yeah, that's a interesting analogy. I
It's
like it.
always been there. And yeah, I mean, once God gets a hold of you, it's as if, you've asked him to wipe away every mark off that brand new car, because all things are begin anew, right? I mean, you're a new creature in Christ. You're a new model on the showroom. There are no mars or scratches or anything. That's all done away with. And indeed, if you examine that car, you can never see that it was ever damaged or ever used. All things become anew. It's as if you've never sinned, and it needs to be that way, because you're going to stand before God. And wait, I'm a sinner. No, didn't. Are you still capable of sin? Sure. I mean, you return to the old man and old habits, and it's hard to wrap your mind around. But God does away with all that. And if you see yourself in a new light, and what Jesus said to Mary of Magdalene and other people, and go and sin no more, he wouldn't give you an impossible thing to do for your life. And God never asked you, or Jesus never asked you anything to do that he wouldn't do himself, that he hasn't already done. He always shows you the way. A good teacher, even the Muslims say he was a prophet. He was a teacher. He just wasn't the son of God. And other religions, they'll acknowledge that he was a great teacher, and they'll stop at that.
Right.
But a good teacher will first demonstrate to you, okay, you mix this chemical with this chemical and you get a reaction, right? In science class, or 2 + 2 is 4. This is how you arrive at that. They first show you how to do it, ask you to memorize it, and then repeat it back to them, or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the thing, however you learn. An art teacher just doesn't talk about gestural drawing. She'll show you what gestural drawing is. She'll show you, or he will show you, he or she will show you contour drawing. How do you do a contour drawing? One continuous line, it's got a different quality to it.
Mm-hmm.
So God will never ask you anything that he hasn't already first demonstrated. And that's what makes him such a great teacher. Where did science and teaching and learning come from? God. I mean, he's the ultimate teacher, right?
Oh yeah.
He should be the main focus. But alas, the world has many lures for many fish out there to lure you away from the sunshine, from being all that you can be without being in the army.
Mm.
Of course, I guess you get in the Lord's army, right?
There you go.
On the Lord's
There you go.
army. Yeah, we are to be warriors and not wimps. That's for sure. And Jesus wants to show us how to do that. We've already seen the one episode where he reads out of Isaiah and he says, "And today, this prophecy has been fulfilled." Well, what do you mean? Throw him off the cliff.
He says, "I think you know what I mean."
He just walks straight, right? It wasn't his time. There was often many times Smoking Wraith, like Philip, the Apostle Philip.
Mm-hmm.
He disappeared and went and baptized the Ethiopian, remember? He just disappeared. There's instances in scripture when Jesus just disappears, it seems like. He just walks through the crowd. Now, I mean,
Okay.
very angry crowd that wanted to kill him.
It's pretty wild.
You know, now whether he just phased
Yeah.
out somewhere else, but I mean, is that thank you, Timmers, like this broadcast over on Twitter. Appreciate that. Glenn Fleming, first to chime in the chat besides you two guys. It's good to see you, Glenn.
Oh, hell, Glenn.
Hey, Glenn.
Always good to see Glenn.
Glenn, we'd like to have you on the Rex Hex and Apex show, maybe in 2 weeks. I believe Apex is going to be hosting. So I'll have him get with you, you know, and see if that's available. That'll be at 11 o'clock our time. So you're 6 hours ahead. Don't know if that's possible for you. It should be, though. Should be. Okay. That'd be like 7 for you. 7 in the afternoon. So don't know if that's possible, but hopefully promise not to keep you from your lovely wife or your work too long. But it'd be good exposure for your Hatch annotated over on Fun My Comic. Got to get out there and shield like I'll be doing on the 4 o'clock shadow today.
Yeah.
Talking about future plans for Devil Flyer prequel, which will be launching. Okay. All right. Well, I'll let Apex know that you're going to be the mark it down on your calendar 2 weeks from yesterday, because I hosted the one yesterday. And thankfully, a couple of people came in and saved my bacon. And, I almost sent you the link, Smoking Wraith. I was almost that desperate.
Oh, man, that's pretty desperate.
I
Saved your
know,
bacon,
right?
man. Well, at least you got your bacon saved.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin good bacon.
Yeah, that's the last thing someone wants to do.
Glenn says, thanks for backing Hatch, Sato. I appreciate it. And he's muted. That fell on deaf ears.
Yeah.
I'm sure he knows. I'll let him know as soon as he comes in. If he didn't already hear this. We got good
No
music.
problem. Sorry, I had a dog going crazy over here.
Oh, yeah. Glenn said thank you for backing his project. Hat.
Oh, yeah, Glenn. I've been looking forward to it, man. Couldn't wait to back it.
Well, he was foaming at the mouth. I thought he was a mad dog there for a minute.
Chomping at the bit.
Chomping at the bit. Yesterday's Rex Hex and Apex show, 62 views so far. We did pretty well with that. The last couple of 4 o'clock shadows have been 62 and 56 views. Hit 1,000 videos and 500 plays of the Devil Flyer trailer. Very glad to celebrate that. It just kind of coincided together there, Smoking Wraith.
Right? That's a hell of a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, 1,000 video content, is plenty to watch.
That's nothing to slouch at.
Yeah.
1,000
And
videos.
some of them are, in there you got 2 12-hour episodes because I did 30 hours marathon ones.
Right. I was going to say, they're not all the same length either.
They're not all the
Yeah,
same length.
yeah.
Some are 6 hours. Some
Yeah,
are,
you got some pretty good ones in there. Yeah.
can be some lengthy things, and some are short, so
I ended up
Yeah.
unlisting most of mine. So you
I don't
can't-
know.
Well,
You
for
know-
a while there, we were tending to run, 3-4 hours. Like, seemed like it got to be a habit for a while.
Yeah, I was probably killing Shadowhawk at, at his old job, and that's when you were on your old job. This new
Yeah,
job,
yeah.
like, yeah, man, I can't even make it 2 hours. I
Oh
gotta
God,
bow
here
out.
she goes again.
That probably contributed to him finding a new job. Was you kept him on so long? He's like, well, I'm gonna have to find another place that
Yeah.
lets me live stream.
Well, mentally there for a little while, he wasn't in a good place. He really needed to be amongst friends and talk it out a little
I gotta
bit.
say, having a shit boss or whatever at a terrible job you just dread going to, it'll wear
and-
you down, buddy.
I know you don't even want to go into work after a while.
You don't even
dread
want to
it.
get out of bed.
That's not a good situation to be in,
No.
Uh,
No, it's not.
Yeah. Well, we'll all eventually get there, hopefully to where we want to be in life.
Oh yeah.
And I do believe a fast track to that is serving God and letting him also serve you. You
Mhm.
have to be humble enough to allow God to sit you down and say, you know what? Just like a loving husband should, because we are the bride of Christ,
Mm-hmm.
You've been working around the house, you've been talking me up to several people witnessing or whatever you do within the church, you teaching or whatever God's called you to do, just to be a giver. Maybe you're good with finances. You have money, money answers
No, I
all.
wish.
We all have each individual gifts,
Mm-hmm.
Whatever God's calls you to do and lead you to, because he's ever offering us choices and different avenues, right?
All we got to do is listen.
Yeah, and sometimes
Yeah,
that's not
keep your eyes open.
with lives, distractions, and what happens. It's not always the easiest thing to do.
Oh no, it's definitely easier said than done.
There's many different distractions. The devil's going to have people out there going, hey, look here, trying to distract you. If you're driving, that's worse than texting and driving. It can shove you right off the cliff,
Mm-hmm.
You got to keep your attention or you'll veer away very easily because you're, believe it or not, we're going at a very high rate of speed, Believe me, I was just, well, my God, I was just having fun with Dad and wasn't even school age. I was in kindergarten. I mean, whatever. I remember it all smoking right, and it was all one big journey. God,
Yeah.
and time goes by quicker. And then here it is, I'm within about a month. Tomorrow will be exactly 1 month from my birthday, why do I want to jump to my 60s? Hell, 58 years.
Apparently you're excited for it.
68, yeah.
That's
Hell.
Rex is trying to get his Social Security a couple of years early.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
When I was in my 40s, I was just saying 50 something. And when I'm in my 50s, I'm saying I'm 60 something. I don't know. I'm always ahead.
I did that for like a whole year, dude. I was already thinking I was 56 and I was only 55.
I think you're
Like, wait a
kind of dreading it. I know you fooled me on 1 year. You sucker.
I was like,
You were
wait a
like,
minute.
yeah, he had me convinced I was already 58 earlier this year.
He convinced me I was older than I really was.
I know, right? I was glad to see that the math didn't
I
work
could sell
out.
ice cream to an Eskimo, I tell you.
Yep.
I believe you could on a good day.
My uncle could. He's a professional bullshitter, man. That's just what he does.
That's right. Years of experience. You don't become a master.
He tries to
bullshitter
pull one
just
over on my
overnight.
grandpa because they're brothers or whatever.
I mean, here's Shadowhawk. Here's your choices. You got pistachio ice cream or you got Rocky Road. Well, hell, I know what I'm going to pick, and it
One
ain't
to
going to be pistachio. Hello.
Nah, I'm going Rocky Road all day.
Now some
taking
people
one to
they
eat.
go after the pistachio. They would. Not me.
Rocky Road.
And I don't
was my
mind a
favorite.
nice pistachio ice cream, but if that's the two choices, then I'm going Rocky Road.
Rocky Road was my favorite growing up, but when I got older, my taste buds matured. I really love pistachio, man.
You like moose tracks?
Really?
Have you
Moose
had
Tracks.
moose
Like-
tracks?
What
got-
is it?
A what?
Oh, it's a mixture. It's got little Reese's pieces. I mean, little Reese's cups in it, and
Oh, Moose
had
Tracks.
things-
Yeah.
I've
I've
had
tried
things
that one.
like it. I don't know if that's exactly what it was.
oh, you'd like it, Smoking Wraith. You'd like it.
Have you had a Tin Roof Sundae? It's like-
I
Yeah, Tin Roofs
that-
are good. Well, I used to love those, but now the peanuts are a little much for my teeth.
Mm.
So.
Yeah,
yeah,
but not Rocky Road. Oh no.
No, you can
No, well,
handle
Rocky
that.
Road's the same thing. Yeah, I got,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
But
it's got
he's like,
marshmallows
I'll
in
put
it.
myself through the
Yeah.
torture, though. I still
Exactly.
like Rocky Road. I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, my father had an influence on me there, my earthly father, which was, butter pecan. But I'll tell you what, probably my favorite, and these were two that he really liked. So, not that I always liked what he liked, but definitely probably had
Yeah.
an influence. Black walnut.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Black
Yeah, see,
walnut
I was
ice
never big
cream
on
is-
either one of those.
You haven't?
I've tried them. I just was never big on either one. Like butter
Yeah.
pecan either. Never been.
I
a
gotta
big
say,
fan.
if I had, and maybe it takes me back to good memories, good times, but I mean, butter pecan's pretty good. Anytime I defer to that, probably more often than not. But and you know what, black walnut might not even be easy to find. Smoking Wraith. I really haven't looked for it. I'm not a big ice cream eater, but I don't think it's
I haven't
probably
seen a
out
black
there.
walnut ice cream in quite a while.
Yeah,
Black-
it's pretty rare.
I hope they didn't do away with it, because black walnut, I could Jones for some black walnut right now, or just about any time. That is some good stuff.
I gotta say,
I'll
there's
have,
not
to,
any,
I'll have to gather you up a batch, Rex. We got black walnut trees all over the place out here.
I'm staring at two right out the window.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, black walnut trees acts as a natural defoliant against other trees. It's kind of evasive as far as,
Yeah.
it's territorial tree.
Well, it
If
keeps
you
our
got
wood,
them, take advantage of them.
well, it keeps our woods, it keeps our woods being woods instead of turning it into a jungle. That it maintains a
Mhm.
good forest.
Yep. Less chance of brush fire and all that good stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
all nuts, if you go just about all nuts, if you go looking for them.
My grandpa's oldest brother, he used to come out to Arkansas because he lived in Washington for the longest time, had a bunch of property up there. He used to come and harvest all the walnuts that would fall,
Yeah.
and he would try his damnedest for years on end. He would come
To
out,
grow
get the
'em
nuts,
up there.
and he would try to extract like the walnut stain, and all that kind of stuff. So he would get done, and his whole body was just stained, like
Oh,
he looked
yeah.
like
Oh,
he
wow.
looked like he was in blackface, like but black body, like it was.
Wow. Wow. Working
my-
in a coal mine.
And I
He's
remember,
walking around with a permanent tan.
yeah, and I remember all day my grandpa being
Yeah,
like,
you
"That's
look
never
like
gonna work.
Trudeau.
It's never gonna work. It's never." And he's like, "I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it," and he just never. He couldn't figure out a
That's
good way
awesome.
to do
So-
it. He just made a mess. That's it.
Well, what he needed to work on was I met a man one time. He said, "You know what? $1 million ideal here. If somebody could breed a soft shell hickory nut, they'd
Mm.
make a fortune. One of these days, one of these geneticus, what the hell? Just make it up as you go along, Rex. I mean, hey, there's only look, act as if you're the only person in the world, and you'll either be lonely or you'll be happy. One or the other.
50-50.
50-50 gamble, folks,
It's a toss-up.
Yeah, well, I mean, people aren't going away. In fact, there's over 8 billion on the planet, right?
Oh, joy.
And there's still plenty of room.
I know. I watched these
And they just won't stop
movies. Oh, these old movies or old shows. It's Sunday, Shadow. I'll disregard that.
Let's acknowledge the chat here if we got anybody. Just Glenn so far.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be a slow day today. We have one person watching, according to the bean counter, but I've never watched the bean counter.
Well, there's a big launch last night too for
oh yeah, people are
Odin
up for
launched Kill 'Em Dead, and
Yeah, I noticed that got 1,000 something, and they launched on Bancrofts, didn't they?
Yeah, I believe he launched on Bancrofts, and then he had a after show on shit. It might have been Odin's channel. I can't remember which channel the after show
Probably
was on.
Odin's. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't get to contribute last night. I gotta wait until next week.
Yeah. I skipped the whole thing. Sorry, Odin.
Well,
Sorry.
I had two choices: either back Glenn this weekend or somebody else, and I'd already made a commitment to Glenn, and I want my hatch. So
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah, I want my hatch too.
I eventually would like to get all the get like just all hardcover editions if Glenn ever puts them all together, and just keep them out of my shop.
I need to back at least one Fund My Comic. I have not done that yet. One Fund My Comic. Like I say, I go to do it and it's like I got a discount code around here somewhere and I just back out of it. It's like
That's right. Yeah, I forgot. What was that? Friday night or was it Saturday?
I don't think.
Justin launched?
I mean, I've been going through the process of doing it. I don't think that I've backed a Fund My Comic project. I might be wrong. I don't think I have yet, which is doesn't speak well to me. But
I think I backed a couple.
I'm very disappointed in you, Rex.
Well, I'm very disappointed in myself too. I'd like to back people.
You know, I'm just fucking with you. Don't get all maudlin now.
Glenn says we'll sort something out, Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that's in reference to.
Backroom
Oh,
deal.
probably to the hardback editions. Excellent, Glenn. Yeah.
Sounds like a backroom deal to me.
Woohoo. A one of a kind, perhaps. That would be awesome.
Public with it, Smoking Wraith. How's that back door?
Yeah,
deal?
Smoking had to blow my cover. There goes my one of a kind issue. Jeez.
No, what blew the cover was "We'll sort something out," Shadow.
That was
Nobody understands what an Englishman is talking about.
I don't have a problem with the Englishmen unless their accent's really heavy.
The only
but now
Englishman I've had a problem with so far is one that got transplanted to New Zealand.
Who are you talking about? Are you talking about Finity?
Oh, well, duh.
Just because he sounds British doesn't mean he's British.
No, they kicked him out, and then they kicked him out of Australia too, because nobody can stand him.
He's Polish descent. He's a Polak.
Yeah, this is what I'm telling. They kicked him out of Poland as a baby. He moved to England. They kicked him out of there. He tried to go to Australia, and they were like, "Nope, New Zealand for you."
Yeah, a Polak
New
Zealander. Yeah.
Well, that's one narrative. Carrie says,
Carrie.
Shadowhawk, well, Smoking Right that Sunday. Have you asked the Lord's forgiveness for trolling me in the chat?
I'm going to be doing that during the episode. I'll be, lashing myself. Atonement.
Flagellate. Like Gorgarian,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have everything set up. I even have a rag to catch
yourself.
the blood that drains down. I have everything.
Flatulate yourself.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I will pay for
You
it.
got the nice little braided cat of nine tails or whatever too.
Yeah. Isn't that flagellation, or is that just like?
Oh God! I'm gonna have to mute for a minute, boys. The dog's gonna go nuts here. Rosie's got a haircut coming in. Be right back.
The world turns on backroom deals, Glenn Fleming says.
You are correct.
You are correct. Can't argue about that.
It's unfortunate, but it's true.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Rick Piper.
Hey.
Rowdy Rick Piper.
I'm telling you, hey, there you go. That'll stick. Check that
Rick.
shirt out.
I wonder if he can
grab
rip
your
it off.
titties and smile real big. What kind of T-shirt is that? That's a man.
That's what they call
it's a Superman ripoff.
Superman ripoff. Is that supposed to be
Yeah.
the Canadian Shield shirt?
No, I didn't invent this. I got this at a dollar store. I just
I
thought it'd
believe
be
it.
cool.
I believe you. Yeah,
Well,
I'm
Although
glad-
technically, if you reverse the colors, it probably could be a Canadian Shield.
yeah, I get it. Yeah. Get the spray paint out, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A little stenciling, and you're there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Have you recovered from your trip?
I guess so.
Yeah. Did you get back in time, or did it take you an extra day or anything?
No, I got back at the time that I was supposed to. Amazingly.
Just delays getting there, right?
Yeah.
None on the way back.
Nope. No delays on the
Didn't
way
get
back.
stuck in Detroit
Well,
again or
How do you
anywhere
feel
else.
about American bus stop cities?
Well, I've done it before, so
No.
Yeah.
I did it like 6 years ago before I knew Dillard. I went down for the same Alpha Omega Con.
Oh, so you took
I
the same path.
Actually, it was because I went through Detroit. It ended up being a slightly different path going. Well, although it ended up when I got my delay, it ended up being very similar to my original way, or ended up being that way.
Hmm.
That's a
But
long
coming
way
back-
to go. That's a long way to go to a convention. Is it because it's a quote Christian convention that it's at a
Yeah,
church?
I think that. Well, I guess that's why it was out of church. There was another one that I was supposed to go to yesterday in Minneapolis, but just with the way things are, I decided
Is
I wasn't gonna
the
spend-
focus Christian comics exclusively?
I wouldn't say exclusively. Well, I can't say about the one in Minneapolis, but the one in Alpha Omega Con isn't exclusively. Most of
Right.
the people there have some sort of Christian one base.
Isn't that kind of strange to have a comic book convention at a church?
a
Hey,
little
Gable.
bit, but it's a small one, so it's. Yes, I did. I got it up. I got it working. A new tablet.
We're so glad that you got it up
Hmm.
and working.
My mom on it.
Oh, is it?
But-
I've never seen a picture of her. Let me see that. Wow. Okay. All right. Now lower it a little bit. Let me see your face. I want to compare. Yeah, I see it. What do you think, Smoking Wraith?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. She looks like a very pleasant person.
Yes, she was.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah, typical.
Most of the time. Okay. I'll go
Hey,
with
if you
that.
got her angry, you wouldn't like
Yeah.
her when she was angry.
Right. She would Hulk
Typical
out.
mom. Yeah.
Glenn Fleming says twins.
She would mum out.
Glenn Fleming
Well,
says twins. She looked very young in that picture, and
Yeah, and that was taken like less than no, that one was about a month, just over a month before she died.
and I think you're 50 years of age, aren't you? Or are you
Yeah.
49? You're 50. People remark to me all the time, Rick does not look 50.
Yeah, he does. You don't.
And I don't look my age either, or at least I'd like to think that I don't,
Well, Shadow thinks you're 60 already, so
Well, I think I'm 60 some days, but and it's not because of aches and pains, but
it's because you can't
Yeah.
really remember.
I usually know aches, but I am a pain
Mm. Amen.
most days.
Yeah,
Just
and
ask
she
Shadow.
in that picture there that you saw, she was 71 or is whatever.
Really?
71.
I would
Yeah.
never. Show me that picture again, Rick. That don't even
That's some
jive.
good genes.
I'm telling you, man. How old?
71.
Wow.
I would. She could be in her 40s, really. What do you think, Smoking Wraith?
Yeah, I mean, like high 50s, maybe. Like maybe.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. All right. Well.
Everybody's got a different opinion, and that's all right.
Right. Well, I mean, I could see that. There's a range there, but
It's
wow.
only the little things that give it away, you know, like a little wrinkle here or whatever, or, you know, a break in the
Well, I
face.
didn't see many wrinkles there.
No, it's just like the way the face sits. You can kind of see it if you look, but it does. She doesn't look old. If that's, you know, she doesn't look 70. That's for sure.
Lynn says I don't look a day over 68.
High opinion of himself.
Well, you know, I mean, I meet people about my age or maybe even a little younger smoking right than I'm sure you have been in Arkansas, because we work hard and play hard, right? And some of us are set out to dry. It seems like it's like you have rode the monkey or something. You've lived hard, and you can see it on your face. Their face looks like a road map.
Yep.
You know,
35 looks about 55.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know.
I mean,
I know a
some
few
people don't age the
that.
same, you know, and it's got nothing to do with genetics. I don't think.
I'm aging like a fine wine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's genetic. I think there's a lot of factors to it. There's probably genetics. It's probably stuff like worry and stuff like that. That sort of stuff. Ages
Well,
you,
after I've seen a picture of my mother, I mean, I definitely look like my mother. Now, I've never seen a picture.
You
of my
definitely
father.
favor your mom.
I definitely do, and I'm like, would I favor her so much younger in life, or you know, a younger picture when she didn't have the white hair? Although I think she had the white hair turn fairly early in life, like I did. It started turning in the 40s for me. But yeah, with us with both white hair, you can see we there's no denying, you know.
Right.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I've not
That's how I
checked
picture
out
it.
my half sister's story. You know, I've not checked it out, but when the picture she showed me, you know, I look a lot like my mother. There's no denying it, you know. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but you know, I was looking in the mirror today thinking I look a lot like my mother. And it's not just the white hair. You know, we have very
Rex suddenly had an urge to throw on a dress this morning. And
no, but I did want to, you know,
he got all dressed up.
an extra.
you need to put a little color in those cheeks, you know.
Thought about joining the FBI.
I'll just invite. Well, I don't have any grandmothers or aunts to you know,
That's right.
pinch my
Yeah.
cheeks anymore.
Oh God, I used to hate that.
Oh, most people do. Please, can I have some more? I've never heard that.
No.
Only on Oliver Twist, and it was for food, not, you know,
No.
Mrs.
Oh,
Rex.
hi, Grandma. Oh, please do that
I
again.
get the reference. Doubtfire. I look like my mom. She was gorgeous.
Oh,
Yes, you're a handsome man, Glenn.
A fine young specimen.
let's
definitely.
not blow up
If you
people's
want-
egos too much.
If you want to come back
Mrs.
on the
Rex.
channel to talk about hats or anything else, Glenn, you just let me know. I'm coming out of the season, so I'll have more time if I can even make it more time accommodating for you. But let's definitely set you up on the next Rex X and Apex show. Of course, I won't be hosting that one, Apex, but I'll get with him, and I'm sure he'll probably approve and be relieved that we have a guest already lined up. I look like my birth mom, Carrie says, but I have my birth dad's dirty-minded humor and traits. Oh, sure, blame it on.
Yeah, blame it all on Dad, Carrie. Sure.
Carrie spelt humor the wrong way. She's
Yeah,
No,
at
she
least
spelled it.
The English.
She spelled
You know.
it the right way for where I believe she's from. She's from Britain, so
no, that's
Isn't
spelled the
there
wrong
an
way.
isn't there an ice cream called Good Humor? I mean, not the flavor,
Not
but
spelled,
the
not
company.
spelled like that.
Not spelled like that. Okay.
Not spelled like that. I'm telling you.
Uh, Is
In,
it like?
in Canada, we would spell humor like that.
It's like spelling color with a U or
Well, I
favorite
mean,
with
Well,
a
yeah,
E.
that's because you're all,
Canadians are
so-
just Brits that lost their way, Rick. They're kind of like the
Exactly.
lost tribe of Israel.
they were out adventuring and got lost, thought they were
They
back
got
home.
lost, right? You know,
So where'd all this snow come from?
and how did they ever not own Alaska? You know that we had to buy it from the Russian chiefs, and they're still smarting over that. I'm sure.
Yeah, they really blew that deal, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they're not happy
You know,
about that.
once we discovered all that oil up there, natural resources. I mean,
Hmm.
And the gold, too, I believe.
Yeah,
oh
lots
yeah,
of gold
there's
up there
gold, but
too.
there's only diamonds in one state, and that's right here
Damn right.
in Arkansas. We are the diamond
Fucking
state.
sassy.
Yeah,
Head on
and,
down to Murfreesboro.
and we're one of the few ones that have hot springs.
Ooh, beautiful ones too. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
I've been
people like
to
famous
Hot
people like
Springs,
Al
Arkansas.
Capone
Very
and
nice.
other mobsters and celebrities would come to Hot Springs for relaxation and massages and all that filthy stuff.
All kinds of
Smoking
seedy
Ray,
things.
shame on you. You have a lot to repent, you troll.
Yeah, I know.
Rick, watch Smoking Ray. He's a meanie pants.
I know, Ken.
All
A
smoking.
meanie pants.
The repenting hasn't quite begun yet. The episode hasn't started.
Yeah, he's you need
I'm
to
getting it out of
chant.
my system.
You need to chant
That's right.
while you do that. No one did answer my question. Is that called flagellation?
Well, it's not flatulation.
Right.
Yes.
Pull my finger.
Yes, I believe that's called flagellation.
Flagellation.
A little different, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm not into either, really, to tell you the truth, folks.
No.
You don't play turtle with your significant other?
I don't want to smell my insides, and I don't want to do myself harm. That's a good thing, right? Phantasmagorical in the house saying, "Hey,
Fanta,
Hey, Fanta.
don't you wanna?
So what's
Fanta?
on after we get done with the episode, which is going to run about an hour long? And we were talking about this earlier, Rick. Wah wah. After next week, which is the season finale, we're going to have to wait till January or February, and it's going to release in the theaters first.
It's gonna kill it.
I thought it was coming out this month.
Nope.
October.
Well, you were wrong.
Oh, well.
So we're
It's
going to have
happened,
goes
it's
your
happened
thinking
before,
again.
and I'm sure it'll happen again.
There you
yeah. Well, that's a good outlook on that. How is Rick? How is the packing up, getting ready to move?
go. Haven't seen it yet.
Ah,
Okay.
he goes, ah.
Um,
Yeah, I hate moving. I will not move. I
Well-
will be here for a while, folks.
Not counting my room, I'd say I'm probably over 3/4, probably 80-90% done the packing.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got a cool backdrop there. You wouldn't want to disturb that till you necessarily had to.
Yeah, well, it's because I ran out of.
Yeah, well.
It's because I ran out of boxes. I'm going to be getting some more boxes this week, and then probably most of this stuff will be coming down.
Yeah.
I want to finish packing up the rest of the house first, but
October Sound of Freedom is on the website, I think. Yeah.
Going to
Who's
Angel.
watched Sound of Freedom?
I watched Sound
Okay.
of Freedom. Excellent movie.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
My
Oh,
mom
yeah, I haven't
watched
seen
it
it.
too. She loved it. She couldn't wait for it to come on DVD and Blu-ray to buy it so she could show people.
Wow. Did you go to the theaters to see
Yeah,
it?
me and my mom. Yeah, me and my mom went to theaters to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. You going to buy a copy of it when it comes out?
Yep.
Yeah.
I might buy.
Yeah,
2
we
copies.
really attach memories to certain things. You know, I mean, watching certain shows and things like that, It's like, yeah, I watched that when I was nothing but a snot-nosed kid. Brilliant movie. Yeah, it must be because Carrie keeps bringing it up, you know.
Yeah,
Tree Goblin
sounds like
says,
Carrie
hey,
really.
hey, Tree. Good morning to you. We got the
Hey,
UK
Tree.
crowd in here, Shadow.
Hey, old tree, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, well, it's 6 or 7 in the evening there, so
Right. I get it. I get it. I mean, when I, picked the 4 o'clock shadow, it was like convenient to me, not necessarily to everyone around the world. And
Not
I
to the
knew that it
world.
probably wasn't the best time to stream, but the way I looked at it, Shadowhawk, was kind of like Rush Limbaugh's show, right? He picked a time that's not necessarily a good time, but he made it a good time, for people. And
Yeah,
made it
you
popular.
make it a destination.
So, if I'm not in prime time, right? If I'm not in the sweet spot as certain shows are, it's like, my thinking is if I can make a, 4 o'clock Central, if I can make that 5 o'clock Eastern and way late for the UK, about 10 a.m. at the starting point, if I can make that popular in that time slot, I can make, make the show popular at a better time, right? That's my thinking on it. Not that it's going to be moving. I mean, had I known,
yeah. You wouldn't want to do the
I
5
might
o'clock
have
shadow,
thought
right?
it had I known Rick Piper first had a 5 o'clock shadow, but I had to be different. I knew I couldn't do 5. Sometimes I can barely do 4, right, Shadow?
Yeah,
Especially
for sure.
towards the end of the season. And I thought about a 3 o'clock, but that's, I had to work in, well, there's times that I need to go to the post office, things like that. Believe me, even at 4, sometimes I'm rushing to get everything done.
Yeah, I can believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
A
4
lot of times
o'clock
for me, it depends on
gets,
traffic,
gets here before you know it. And you won't want to miss today's show because I'll be talking about future comic that's going to be coming out, and that's the prequel. I'll be showing the cover of it. The cover's completed and done, and I'll be showing the cover. I have the files for it. Dillard's paid off and happy.
Beautiful.
Dillard's happy? Wait a minute. Write this down on the calendar.
I don't believe it.
I know, right? I'm skeptical as well.
He barely had
I
a
need
smile on his
photographic
face.
evidence.
Yeah, during that unboxing, he barely cracked a smile.
When talking about Dillard, I refer to Rick Piper because Rick Piper's been friends with him a lot longer than I have, and they've collaborated on a lot together. So he's the expert.
Yeah, Rick is our resident Dillard expert.
Yeah.
I know, right? And I don't know if I'd want to be in that bracket, to tell you the truth.
That's well, Fanta asked in the chat if since you met him in person there, Rick, was Dillard the positive ray of sunshine and just positivity that he is online.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Our Tree Goblin says Finatra gets 60 sometimes at 6 a.m. CG never sleeps. I agree, and I'll be doing some late night streaming. If you do late night, you're going to get an Australian crowd. Just certain times. Eventually, the UK people will be waking up.
Yep.
You get Rozzy up in here.
Yeah, it was weird. I was always talking crap about all the Brits and Aussies and stuff, and they were the only ones in my chat whenever I used to stream.
Which was generally what time, Smoking Wraith?
2 a.m.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's like
one time
8 a.m. for them.
Yeah, they're just getting up.
That's what I mean. They're like, oh, listen to this idiot.
Right. And he was drinking heavily and talking about Token and things like that.
Yeah.
Or just
one time,
country music.
At one time, I tried to get it so, we could have, like almost 24 hours.
How often have we heard this? Leland's coming back. Yeah, I looked at his project and it looked pretty cool, but it's like, yeah, I saw who it was, and I said that's a non-starter for me. Sorry, I
I
don't
saw
care.
some kind of clip of like Smiller telling Liam, if you just talk to Ethan, I'm sure he'd be happy to have you back. Like, oh, come on, man.
By the way, put in a good word for me.
2 words: false hope.
Oh God. But I heard that on the flip side, on the good news side, I heard Nasser's like completely gone now. I don't know what happened there.
Oh,
That's
really?
the good news.
Yeah.
Well, what about Wanger? You said something about Wanger recently.
He was kind of making a little comeback there. He did a couple of live streams and was but I haven't seen much of him, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sub to him. If he would have just done a Super Harem #2, he would have been doing pretty good. I mean,
Yeah,
he
woulda, coulda,
admitted
shoulda.
that he kind of misused the funds to the first one and bought some artwork, according to him, and it put him in a financial bind. And then when people just didn't ogle over his next project that he was drawing himself, I mean, which was kind of a Norwalish, simplified project.
Yeah.
I think I even got
I'm not trying to
stickers.
be mean, but it just wasn't that great, Wanger, and
Yeah, well, I was thinking
instead of
about
getting mad, he
supporting
should
it.
have just
I was, but
retooled and gone back to Super Harem
if
2
you're looking towards Ethan or anybody else to push your own project and sell people on it, or sell yourself to the people, because I think they do support you as much as they do the project, if not more. That's why I'm amazed at so many people burning bridges.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if you don't like my politics, did we not learn anything from that?
Apparently
Don't buy
not.
my book. And it wasn't even her book, it was DC's book. I would have fired her on the spot and said, go write comics for somebody else, you bitch. But, of course,
Well, Devil needs to get a job at the comic book place. They should have hired you.
They should hire me.
Should have fired Jim Lee and hired Rex.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't want to run the whole company, but sure.
Well, this is what we're going to have to do, though. You're going to have to go in with an iron fist.
Yeah, I'm going to have to become Jim Shooter, right?
You're going to have to be the bad guy. You just got to do it.
Yeah. So you're saying I'm the ugly in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
Or maybe just the bad.
I'm Lee Van Cleef. He was missing a fingertip, I'm not cutting off a fingertip. Perfectly good fingertip.
Is there a fugly option? Oh wait, never mind.
Ethan just wanted the drama stream clicks. Yeah. Ethan told Leland I'll promote him. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
good, the bad, and the beautiful.
He's working and busy. Yeah, I mean, Nasser's hurt his brand. I mean, there's still a lot of people that say F Nasser, And I'm not, my encounters with him, I don't like what he was doing with Vic, coming up and smoothing up. And it's not, who gives him the moral authority to say anything, especially at such a young age,
Yeah.
I personally don't have anything against him, but from what I see, I'm like, yeah, I don't. And he's not had any properties that I'm just like, woo, over.
It's nothing personal. He's a terrible fucking writer. I mean, it's just the way it is.
I mean, if you back Nasser and you like his stuff, God bless you, but
I'm just not really into the horror stuff myself, so.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gave him like 2 chances. Ethan talked me into giving the kid another chance. And,
yeah. I mean,
I was very disappointed in both projects. So
well, you know what you ought to do, Shadowhawk? You ought to do what I'm doing now is consolidate. Make sure I don't scatter any of it. All the CG stuff, because that's a very special place in my collection, right? In fact, I'll probably feature more of it back here when I redo this. Just to show what projects I have supported over time. And I have stuff up here already.
Mm-hmm.
just thought.
Yeah, well, I
I
mean,
have a
yeah,
picture,
you know, I'm keeping all my CG stuff separated.
right. But what I would do is I would separate a list. These are projects that I back because Ethan said, you know,
No,
and
there's
had
only
an
a couple of those.
only a couple.
Yeah.
There might be more than what you think.
No,
I've heard.
not really.
Well, I mean, was Lumina Vox one of them? I know it was for me.
I don't. Yeah, I can't remember if I saw that on Ethan's channel first or not. It might have been. Yeah,
I bet
might have
you
been.
did. I did.
Probably.
And that's why I backed it. And I'm not sorry I backed it at all. But you said that it kind of fell flat for you and wasn't your kind of thing. And I get that.
Yeah, it's just not really my style.
Yeah.
I mean, but that.
Well,
No
it wasn't
big
my
deal.
style either. But sometimes you got to, you know,
No,
go
I
after the wild
appreciate
hair.
it. Yeah, I appreciate it for what it is. I mean, it's a nicely put together book. You know, the art and everything for if you like that kind of stuff, it's solid. The colors are great. You know, it's just not really my kind of
Tree
you know
Goblin says,
book
I
that I
like
normally read.
Nasser. He can make himself instantly unlikable. I respect that. Well, that's kind of like Rick down here. You know, he can do the very same thing. I like Nasser. Okay, what about that giant girl fetish book? That
Oh yeah,
Ethan
that
plugged
was
for an entire week. Anybody read that?
yeah. What was that one
No.
called? God, I can't think of the name of it. But yeah, I did get that one. It
Was
was
that the
different.
sort of wrestling or boxing one, or
Yeah, yeah. With
were they
the
giant
big.
girls? Were they
Yeah, they were
giant?
like
It
9
looked
feet
good to
tall.
me. It looked good to me. I wanted to back it. I didn't back it, but I wanted to after his
Yeah.
plug.
It wasn't terrible. I don't know whatever happened to it though. I never saw number 2 come out, so I don't know.
Well, I think as much as Ethan backs Nasser and says he's a young kid and he's learning and he needs to be forgiven, I think he really has damaged himself, and there's people that just won't forgive him. And it may be just like you say, he's not a very good writer.
I mean, for me, that's the biggest part. If he was a
Yeah.
good writer, I could put up with shenanigans. But I don't see no reason to back a project if I'm not going to enjoy reading it. You know.
And on
Yeah.
that spectrum, yeah. Do you think he's on the spectrum?
I just think he's socially awkward. I don't think it's
Yeah.
spectrum.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
We give that way
Yeah.
too much leeway now. Like
I think we do too, as well, Smoking Wraith. You know, if you're
I've seen
if
too
you're-
many people use it as an excuse.
Well, I mean, look in The Chosen. Even Matthew is, I would say, autistic almost.
Yeah, he's supposed to. Is it artistic? I'm not sure. They
Asperger's.
said what he's Asperger's. Yeah.
It's basically social awkwardness and doesn't really like to be touched.
Who names something Asperger?
The guy that discovered it named it, and that was his name, Asperger.
Well, that's a bunch of crap. you
He's
know?
German. What do you expect?
Asperger. That what? I mean, do you
From
want
the
a
town of
burger?
Asperger, Germany.
Is that like one of those Kaiser buns? See, German.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It-
And a Kaiser
it
bun.
was
is
probably
kinda
before
round,
we.
yeah. Yeah, I mean they got to get the
Well,
golden arches in there sometime, even when McDonald's is not there.
Well,
See?
well,
All right,
Subliminal.
fellas, all right.
By
I'll be right back. I gotta get
Asperger,
a
it could
haircut
be.
real quick.
It could mean
Just
donkey
in the other
burger.
room.
Okay.
By Asperger, it could mean donkey burger.
Possible.
You know, an ass is a mule, donkey, right?
When EVS plugs random campaigns, generally his detractors have gotten him about not plugging anybody but the kings. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be.
I think he's had some good recommendations. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't regret. Of course, now I've not read some, but if it didn't appeal to me, I wouldn't back it. There's been some I've done because of the person,
Right.
but I have taken some of Ethan's recommendations. But I'm kind of over that right now. I'll make up my own mind. And I'll
Yeah.
take note. Can he sway me on a campaign? Sure. I mean,
Yeah, maybe he can sway you if you're already into it.
I'm not as enamored by, and I think there's been a settling down, right, to a certain degree in the last couple of years. There's been a settling down. There's still a lot of people that hang on Ethan's every word, and certainly he's got something to say, and you know, just like we all do. But
Yeah.
and I'm not saying that he doesn't carry the weight that he once had. You know, maybe he's losing weight. I don't know. He's the pie man, right? I wanted to ask him about it. In fact, when I went over there and I said, "Are we EFAPing?" He actually read out one of my chats. He didn't bring it up on screen, but he says, "Yes, we are EFAPing." He was EFAPing the other day, and I just asked, and he responded. So, hey,
I got to say, that's one of the perks of YouTube. You know, it's way better interaction too.
well, you know, I get it. You know, when you have 800 and something people, almost 900 people, and that's low for Ethan. You know, but it's the time of day, right? I've even seen it lower than that, 500 or 600 people in there. It just depends on what time you're streaming. He can get 500 or 600 people way late at night, you know, early in the morning. You know, I mean, we forget that we're reaching out to everywhere. You know, we're reaching out to Russia,
Anywhere that's got the net.
anywhere anywhere that's got the net. That's correct. You know, I mean, we focus on certain places. You know, too bad it's, you know, that they haven't got a platform where I can speak English, you can speak English, and it's translated into other languages so that
Ni
it
hao.
can be understood by everyone. But you know, we haven't got the Star Trek yet, the universal translator. Too bad for
Well,
that.
there's ways of getting. I'm not sure what program it is or whatever to have your stuff, say on YouTube. At least have you know, things, subtitles.
Yeah.
As you speak, or do
Well,
subtitles for afterwards or whatever.
I think, you know, a giant like Ethan, you know, Tree Goblin says you can catch Ethan in the small stream on other people's show. And I like that he said catch. It's like going fishing, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, he usually
I
does.
think the pond has expanded.
Yeah.
I don't think that Ethan's reach has become smaller. It's just that the pond has expanded. He's still a big fish in a very ever expanding pond.
And I think that was the goal.
That was the goal. So
He
I
wasn't
mean,
meant
I
to
think
be.
to a certain degree, Ethan is he should make a T-shirt. Damned if I do, or damned if I don't.
Yeah.
I'm going to have my detractors no matter what I do.
Yep.
Because I'm a big target,
The
and he's
face,
always
so to
been a
speak.
target.
In more ways than one.
And in
Yeah.
a way, oh, Rick, you're one to talk about being a big target, dude. Come on.
Hey, I'm skinny. I'm slowly losing weight.
Maybe in your family, dude, but you're fat.
Oh yeah,
Compared-
I know I'm fat, but
from a lot of, you know, compared to a lot of people. I mean, in your family, you may be olive oil,
no. Oh,
a
I'm probably
twig.
not.
You might be a
No.
twig in your family.
No, I'm not a twig in my
Kevin
family.
really
When I
I'm
look
just
at
saying,
my when I
I
look
just
at
said
my
I'm
birth
losing
mother
weight.
and my sister that is already passed away, I'm like, oh damn, I could get very large, and I know that if you eat enough, you can get large.
yeah. But I'm actually in the middle of actually losing weight.
Rick
you know.
still has hair though.
That's an important factor.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
but it's
Rex has got hair. It's just all white.
yeah, exactly. And why Disney didn't call me, I think that's genderism, right? I could have done Snow White, sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rex White.
Burkholder in the house saying
Oh,
just
okay.
arrived. EBS wanted to expand this market and float the other boats and ships higher, and did.
Yep.
I'd agree with
Yes, he
that,
did.
And it was a learning process for him. Guys, I've got to take a short break. I've not let her out since we've gotten up. I'll fix another cup of coffee. I'll be back in a few minutes. Talk amongst yourselves, and then we'll get started with this wonderful bean footage.
Beautiful.
All right, I'm gonna try to
Fur
squeeze this
Turtle
haircut
says,
in
I am
real
a
quick.
secret fat.
Now, who's getting that? You, Shadowhawk?
Oh yeah,
Okay. He's gonna. So my co-host is bugging out.
Uh-oh.
Might as well end
No,
the
I'm-
show.
God.
I'm going. All I gotta do is get my hair cut real quick. It's gonna
Just
take about
kill
10
it.
minutes.
Just,
Oh,
just
that's all.
kill it. Just kill it.
Yeah.
A good haircut will take 10 minutes. Not that Rick would know.
Yeah,
No,
it's been
it wouldn't.
10 years since he got one.
I see you. We'll go out. Yeah.
All right, be right back, fellas.
Oh, don't flex. I'm too sexy for this camera. Well, there's that. I better get out of here. I'll be right back.
Oh, man.
Fur
Eastland,
Turtle says, I'm
yeah, you were reading it. I'm a secret fat person. Love sugar, but I look skinny. That's funny.
Sugar's a killer.
Yep. It's what always makes you hungry. So Rick has that tablet, the drawing pad. You like it?
Yeah, for sure. I haven't done a lot with it yet, but the other thing is getting used to the smaller screen.
Have you always been a digital guy?
No, I used to do traditional a lot more, but I'm getting better at the digital and all that. So, and I got this tablet for a couple reasons, as you guys know, that in the next month or so, I might be surfing couches. So, I can bring my computer places, but I doubt I can bring, my 40-inch TV places.
Ah, right.
Because I've got a suitcase that I think my computer will fit in, So I put that in there with, my mic and mouse and camera, all the cords, that should all fit, This tablet, fit in my hands, might even fit in the thing too, and then I can just have a gym bag for my clothes, So I can take this out and set up, have a monitor, my monitor and drawing pad are all in one because this was what I was using for drawing on the computer beforehand.
Wow.
A Wacom tablet, which was good, but I was down at Dillard's and I got to try his UG. His UG was a bit bigger, like I said, but they only do the up to the 16-inch or 15.4 now. So I wish they do, like the 21 or whatever, which is what he has. But I like it. I think you have a lot more control with it, just in the little bit that I've used, mine and Dillard's. That's all the Halloween decorations up. I'm not sure what tree I was referring to.
Well, I guess it is October, isn't it?
Yeah.
Damn.
So, yeah. That's one of the major reasons I got, because after this month, I don't know where I'm going to be. maybe I could have my own place, but highly doubtful. So I figured I needed something so I could continue doing my stuff no matter where I was, because I want to be able to do the net, and all that sort of stuff. Or do, comics, my YouTube a little bit, like I said. I don't know. At least this way I can, do comic stuff and then find somewhere to upload it.
Right.
Maybe it's every couple weeks that I upload a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know.
Rex needs to start making his coffee before the shows.
Yeah, so you can just go pour it in, right?
Mm-hmm. So irresponsible for a host.
Well, he hardly ever knows how long this show is going to be.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like 20 minutes. Sometimes it's an hour or 2 hours.
Yeah, it's gotten out of hand sometimes. Like right now, in a spiral. Yeah, I looked up an article a little while ago, and we were looking up when season 4 was going to be coming out, because we're like, boy, I hope it's in a couple weeks. But apparently it's not.
Yeah. Huh.
What sucks.
Yeah, I could have sworn I had heard October, but
I'm pretty sure they altered it.
because it's supposed to be all done by now, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
At least all everybody, at least all the I don't know about any special effects or whatever sort of thing behind the scenes, but all the filming aspect is done.
Yep.
I'm just not sure about all the pre-production.
They did 76 days filming.
Or I should say not pre-production, post-production.
Right, all the editing, all that crap.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd enjoy that, being an editor. Seems like a nightmare.
Well, it depends whether you know what you wanted or whatever and all that. It's just looking at all the takes and putting it all together. The great thing is they're not confined by, it has to be this amount of time. They can do the short ones or the long ones.
Right. Whatever they need to make the story efficient.
Yeah.
That's what I really appreciate about it. There's no filler, no fluff. It's great.
I can taste the Jim Beam in my coffee today.
Oh, good morning.
A Jim Beam coffee, original.
Oh,
At
so you
first
did
with breakfast blend, but then the other, I mixed up or something. I
thought you poured in a
taste
little special ingredient.
No. It's just Jim Beam makes a coffee. They actually make two coffees that I've seen. One original flavor, which I get, and then they have a vanilla. I don't know why vanilla is so popular in coffees.
Not sure.
But I see it everywhere.
It's in everything, it seems like.
I guess kind of like pumpkin spices around this time. I don't know about you, Smoking Right, but it's been dry here. No rain. It's just dust bowl outside.
It's funny you say that, because in the past, 2 weeks, we actually had one good storm, and I swear the ground soaked it up so fast, and it was dusty again that afternoon.
Yeah, I believe it.
was crazy.
It's dry. Vanilla latte is all year round and lush, Carrie says.
Fancy.
Yeah, I'm the one drinking. I'm the lush.
You're
Wow.
only a lush if you drink to excess. Are you drinking to excess?
Well, when it comes to coffee, I suppose I am to a certain degree. I don't know. I can't drink too much. It gets me jittery. What was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Oh, yeah. Hey, I was making meatloaf, another tragic meatloaf. So I got meatloaf in the oven. So that'll be good later today. I put a whole kernel sweet corn in it.
I do like a meatloaf.
Yeah. Have you had it with corn?
I don't know.
Sweet corn in it? I got a
I
while.
don't think so.
I put a little Taco Bell taco seasoning. Not a lot. Maybe half a pack, for 2 pounds of meat. I don't think that'll be too bad. But it may taste a little.
I'm going to share my
taco.
screen. I got something for Carrie.
I put some my Watkins, an old brand from the 1800s meatloaf seasoning in there, and a whole packet and a half of Lipton tea or Lipton soup, onion soup mix, plus some onion powder. Share your screen, okay?
Yeah, it's something special for all you fancy Starbucks drinkers. This guy filled a small coffee, right?
Right.
And there's what, a small, medium, and large. Okay.
To the top.
So you take the small,
So you see this.
you fill it up, and then he pours it in the medium. He does it real slow, but
Right.
it's the same size, like small, medium,
You're telling me that the Starbucks cup small and medium.
right? And he pours the medium back into the small, and it's the same thing.
Whoa.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
And now he's going to put the
Small
small
into-
into the large.
Yeah,
Slow.
yeah.
Can you do both at the same time?
I can, but
Okay. Hold
how
the camera
in the
steady.
world is a large coffee going to be filled from a small cup? And
So that's a miracle,
I can't.
right?
You're doing
Is
it
there,
yourself.
or is it just the shape of a cup? that
You're
makes
Like
it
the
look bigger?
Lowe's
How close
There
you are
is
to the
dishes.
top?
no. How in the world?
Oh yeah, is it thicker? Yeah, the
Exactly,
large is thick.
exactly. They're just thinner
It's
and
small.
taller, but it's
All
the
I
same
can
amount.
say is this.
Wow.
So basically,
This
why are
is
you
how
buying
they
a
put
large
the
for
bucks
$10 when you
in
can
the
buy a small for
Starbucks.
$5
Why
or
would you buy
whatever?
that when you can buy that? Why would you buy
I
that
don't-
buy that? So that's the big lesson that you've learned today. Get the small, call it a tall, call it a day, save a bunch of money.
Wow.
Get the small, call it a tall, save a bunch of money.
Wow. And you can see the thickness of the cups.
Yeah,
That's
this is just thinner, and then this is just fatter.
wow. That's kind of a rip-off.
Crazy.
You like
Yeah,
that?
that is
You like
crazy.
that? This is Arkansas wisdom for everybody of the world. Just pay attention.
Wow. Okay.
Breaking news.
Yeah. Buy the small, save the money.
Buy the small, call it a tall, move on.
That's
Fuller says read ounces.
People don't read ounces; they just read small, medium, or large, and
I'm
assume
not
they're
sure
getting a
when
good
you
deal.
order a Starbucks that they tell you what the ounces are, right? I mean, it's not like you're
And it's all in Italian, right? It's like venti and all that, whatever.
I don't know. I don't go to the only Starbucks coffee and nothing fancy, just black. I had probably a discount tap coupon something when we had Barnes and Noble here before the tornado wiped it out.
Oh, there's a Starbucks in there, yeah.
Yeah, they've got a Starbucks in there, and
Mhm.
I had mark that off my bucket list. I've tried at least black coffee, nothing fancy at Starbucks a couple times. It's I'm not one of these that are going to line up in a long line like I see in the mornings and other times. We've got Shadracks around here. It's called Shadracks, which is biblical, so, and people line up for it, but I'll make my own.
Eastland Burkholder says not thin and thick, different circumference. Well, when we say thick, that's the Arkansas version of saying different bigness around, circumference.
I'm
Thick.
5'5", Carrie says. If I wear a T-shirt that says tall, I can tell people I'm tall then.
In Starbucks logic, yeah.
Yeah. In Starbucks logic, you'd have to become thicker.
Mm-hmm.
And, so obviously, do you have Starbucks there in Canada?
Yeah, I don't go to
Yeah.
Starbucks.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
A,
See,
they're
he's-
too expensive.
Yeah. He's obviously Rick is a tall. He's extra thick cup.
No,
Yeah.
the tall was the thin one. The small.
Get it small and call it tall.
No. How did you present that video and totally miss it, Smoking Ray?
No,
To
you
fit
got it
that
backwards.
small into the tall has to be thicker.
No, the tall is thinner. It's just taller.
Take a look at the video, dude. The large looks thicker rimmed.
No, it's not. You got it
Yeah,
backwards.
yeah. Well,
Pull up my screen. I got it right here.
it is taller, but
Pull up my
the
screen.
thickness of the glass.
The thickness of the cup,
cup.
right.
Yeah, but it is taller at the same time.
It's taller and thicker. And you're saying I have it. It's taller.
You have it
and
backwards.
thinner.
I have it pulled up. You can look at it.
I did, and I saw a thicker on the large.
No,
Or at
you
least
got
on the
it
rim.
reversed.
On the rim.
You got it
I think
reversed.
I have it reversed. I
The
think
small
you
is
have it.
shorter but bigger around. That's why it's all the same ounces. This is taller, but it's thinner. It's smaller across, smaller circumference. This is a little bit bigger, and
Yeah,
this is the biggest, but shortest.
I okay. However they do it, you're getting the same amount.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Large
just the
one,
shape of,
small,
it's the shape of the cup, man.
Okay, I'm outvoted. Okay, well,
But either way, it's a scam, and don't go to Starbucks.
well, yeah.
I got to see whether they do that with Tim Hortons here in Canada.
If they do it where?
Tim Hortons.
Jim Hortons. Never heard of them. Just like you've never heard of Shadrach's outside the Bible.
Yeah. What about Meshack?
Burkholder says, so got to cook here or new cat. What? You're going to cook up cat and big dog and dog. Are you Korean? And I know you're not. And I'm going to be enough eating and canned corn for the storm kit. Okay. So you're cooking up cat and dog
with a
and
side of canned
canned corn for emergency rations. I get it. At the
Okay.
brim, bigger circumference and smaller bottom. Yeah. Smaller bottom, opposite of what you sat in comics drawing.
Or C, maybe?
I don't know. I think besides cooking, Burkholder's been drinking.
Yeah, maybe.
Either that or the spell check is off.
Let's not use that excuse.
I know, right? I have Costa. If I treat myself to a coffee out, someone did same video with Costa takeout cups. Yeah, and I'm sure if you went to just beverages, not even coffee, they probably do the same thing, right? With like sodas
Yep.
at certain
Oh,
places.
sure. Yeah.
I would
You
imagine.
tested. Never bought a Starbucks. It's cheaper to take a flask. Laugh out loud.
Yeah.
There you go.
The thing is, at that point, you just want to go get yourself the cup and you put your own coffee in it. That way, you're not paying for the coffee.
Right?
Had some bad coffee that day. It was a high pain day, and I spilled and made it taste bitter. Wow. I think Burkholder's just messing with my mind, which doesn't take much to do. You can say hello, and I'll trip my balls off. Anyway, I think we've exhausted this. Let's bring up this wonderful bean footage and
Roll those.
Yeah, we'll roll that beautiful bean footage. Hell the chat. Thanks for
Hello.
everything. If you do, I'll drop the link in the chat again. If in case you have a second thought to come join us, you're more than welcome. We always have a great time. We don't get too heavy around here. We have a gas station here with cheap coffee and cheap sodas. Well, that's
There you go.
good. Apparently, Bidenomics is not biting you too bad yet. Perfect 10 issue 4 funded. That's good to hear that Dave's Perfect 10 is
Yeah,
funded.
excellent.
I really did not have any doubts that it would. He does some great stuff.
Oh yeah, no, Dave's got quality product, man.
He's got
Quality.
it going on.
He's got it
Quality.
going on.
Well,
I will, Carrie. I'll be asking for
Ask-
forgiveness.
Hell
Flagellate.
up.
yeah. He's gonna flatulate.
I'm gonna flagellate all over, Carrie.